Bastion for the Metal Gods Meltdown. And today I am joined by
Tom Collier from Held Hostage. I'm the founder, lead vocalist, and lead guitarist for the band.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about your band and where you drew your inspirations from?
Sure. Well, we're from the United States. We're in Syracuse, New York area, and obviously inspired by Randy Rhoads, Black Sabbath. Judas Priest, all those guys, AC/DC. We're just a straight ahead rock band, and we've been around since the '80s. And our new album is just doing incredible here, and around the world, we're just very, very excited about our new album called Great American Rock.
Yeah, I was listening to it last night, mate. I was getting into it. It's proper rock. It's wicked. I love it.
Cool.
Held Hostage is a really cool name. What others did you consider then? And why was that the winner?
That's always been the name from day one. Has been Held Hostage, a name I came up with, and that's what it's always been since the '80s.
Excellent.
I've only played in one band in my life, Held Hostage.
Really?
For over 40 years. Yeah.
Wow. My God. So when did Held Hostage start? When in the '80s?
Yeah, 1984 is when we first started playing shows. So it's been around a long time.
Yeah, I was 14 years old then.
We actually started in 1980, but we really weren't that good when we started playing live. So we started out in the back of my pickup truck, and it was winter time here, snow. We didn't have any heat. We had no place to rehearse. So we would have a little cap on my truck, and we'd play the guitars till they go out of tune, and we'd warm our hands up. Then we went to a slaughterhouse, a pig slaughterhouse.
Wow.
We were happy because it was warm in there.
Yeah.
And then we ended up moving to a one-room schoolhouse, and we still rehearse there 35 years later. I bought the schoolhouse, and the band rehearses there to this day.
That's so cool. Really, that's cool. Excellent. So I understand you're due to play a benefit show with Ripper Owens. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. So in end of July this year, Eastern Kentucky was devastated by floods. These people had lived there for 200 years. The family properties were passed down. There was no insurance or anything. They were just wiped out. And these kids, they've got nothing out there. And it's one of the poorest counties in the United States. And they reached out to me and they asked if we would help. We've raised money for lots of things. And so I called Ripper Owens, and Ripper said he would come help. Ripper's actually on his way to Australia. He'll be back 2 days before the show. He's out on tour. He just left Spain. He was in Spain and Portugal doing concerts, and he'll be touring the month in Australia. Then he comes home 2 days prior, and he'll be singing with us in Kentucky. It's an exciting show for us. Ripper's a great guy. His story from cover band to Judas Priest and Yngwie Malmsteen, Iced Earth. The guy's a legend.
He is an absolute legend. And he features on some of the tracks, doesn't he, on your album? Is that right?
Yeah, so he's on 10 of the songs. He sang 10 out of the 12 of the songs on there. Ripper and I worked on my previous album right before COVID hit. Ripper sang my whole album, Epic. And that was selling like mad. And then, obviously the whole world shut down. We were setting up tours and everything. And
it's not been the same since.
Oh, it hasn't. It hasn't. We're lucky we're drawing a lot of people still, but some of the bands are having problems getting people back out there. A lot of people aren't going out like they should be, like we think.
Right.
But, we're doing very well, and we just did a show with Ripper 3 weeks ago here in New York and then like I said, he left for Spain. But he's just a great guy, and he's a great singer, and he's one of the best guys to work with I've ever worked with in music. About
suicide prevention. I was quite interested in that. You do a lot for that as well, don't you?
Yes, we do. So the reason I wrote that song was because we had a few former members of the band actually committed suicide, and none of us seen the signs with these guys. One of them came out and visited me the night before he did it, spent the night. I had no clue. Hugged me in the morning and said, "Hey, take care." And his daughter called me at like 10:30 in the morning and said that he had committed suicide. I was like, "Yeah, be kidding. He was just here. We had coffee." You can never tell. And so I wanted to write that song. And just a quick story about that song. I wrote it on a Friday night. I finished writing the song. On Saturday morning, I get a phone call from this woman, and she says, "I'm looking for Tom Collier from Held Hostage." And I said, "This is Tom." She goes, "Well, I understand you guys are into helping people and doing benefit concerts." She says, "I'm Joanne Longley. I'm from the Suicide Hotline. We're doing a concert this year for suicide prevention and awareness." I said, "You got to be kidding me. Last night I wrote a song called Rise about suicide." And the next morning she called me. So we helped her out. We headlined the concert. It was very successful. We were very happy to do that for her.
So obviously you've been going along quite a long time. So what would you say has been the most memorable show that you played ever?
Boy, there's been a lot of them, but one of my favorite shows. I mean, we played some tiny places you had a blast in, but we were out 2019. We were out in California, and we were with Metal Allegiance, and that was when Dave Ellefson was with them, Dora, everybody,
Yeah.
Chuck Billy, Mike Portnoy, all those
Wow.
guys. And so we went out there to do a show with them. Nobody really knew who we are. We're on the West Coast. We were great, very popular on the East Coast, and I remember sitting down and like Dave Ellefson walks in my dressing room and just sits down next to me and starts talking to me, just the nicest guy in the world. And he
Yeah.
says, I'm really looking forward to hearing you guys. I've heard good things. So we go out and play the show. And I'll never forget, there was 40 of the people from Metal Allegiance. It started off with Dave walking the side stage and then see Dora over there. By the end of our show, all those guys were cheering us on. They were screaming and yelling for the band. We came off stage. They were high-fiving us, just the nicest guys. It was quite a feeling to walk off from, people like that and say, you guys were one of the best bands we'd ever seen. Just love what you guys stand for,
That's brilliant. Yeah, he's a top guy, David, actually, he really is.
Oh, he's a great guy. Absolutely. I love that
Absolutely.
guy. Very nice guy. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and so what would you say is the most precious 2 albums you own?
The most precious 2 albums. Well, I would Montrose, Ronnie Montrose, the Montrose album with Sammy Hagar, Rock Candy. That's one of my favorite albums there. And actually Ted Nugent, the Cat Scratch Fever album is a pretty impressive one. And I would also say Ross the Boss. He's a good friend of mine. And Ross the Boss's album is just a Born of Fire was just a great album, and it didn't get the play it should have gotten. He released that right before COVID too.
Cool. So I meant to ask, actually, going back to the gig that you're going to be doing with Ripper, are you going to be doing like a live stream with that?
We're talking about doing live stream. We hope we can, So we're all going out there donating our time we're trying to raise the money. We're going to go out the day before. We're going to visit the sites, and everybody. And thank you for bringing this up. This is really important. But we would love to do a live stream. We're hoping that people will show up and just these kids have nothing, and we want to make sure they have the best Christmas.
Yeah, it's hard, man. We don't really know a lot about with the floods and that. Well, I mean, we're sort of aware of it, but it's not like major over here. We don't,
And it was something that the United States overlooked too on these people.
Really?
It's the poorest county in the country. So when they reached out to us, we said we'll be there.
Brilliant. Can you tell me then what was the last song you listened to?
Wow, I have music going in my house all the time. It was Aerosmith, Dream On was just on.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us why we should check out Held Hostage?
Well, I think that we're just a straight ahead rock band. We have fun. We sing true to life. We're not about hate, kill, and death. We're about living, having fun, enjoying life. I mean, every song that we write is something about true to life, whether it's, Rise about suicide, or, our song Show Me the Way Back Home is for all the veterans out there. Now We Ride, the bikers have welcomed this band. I mean, they've endorsed us, Bikers United.
Yeah.
So we're a fun band. We're a great group of guys, and we're out there to help people. We're not out there to hurt people. We're out there to help people.
Cool. So when you talk about bikers, do you still have Hell's Angels over there, big chapters over there?
There is. The Hells Angels are here. There's lots of, but these people get bad raps because they're the nicest guys in the world. I mean, we did a show for St. Jude's Children's Hospital that was backed by Bikers United. We raised tens of thousands of dollars for them.
Yeah.
And those biker guys are the nicest guys in the world. They're some of our best friends, and they're our biggest supporters.
Cool. Have you got a trike yourself?
I actually used to ride, but now I've moved to ATVs. I'm out in the woods, and I bought 150 acres of land. I ride my ATVs out in the woods, and my friends come over, and I got trails and mud and have a blast. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So if I was totally new to Held Hostage, which 2 tracks would you play to me to introduce me to your band?
The best 3 tracks. Okay. Well, I love the title track, We Rock Hard.
Yeah.
The Master is just a great song. And if you want to hear a little by Diversity, listen to Rise. Rise is an acoustic song. And that's a side of Ripper Owens people have never seen. Ripper is one of the most melodic singers out there. And our song Rise it goes over huge. I mean, we get the whole crowd singing that when we're playing it.
That's awesome. 4 words to describe Held Hostage.
Energy, happy, excited, helpful.
Started out in the 80s. Are you glad you started out in rock metal music back then rather than today's crazy world?
Yes, we had a lot of fun. We were, back in the 80s, we got to tour with Man of War. We got to tour with Eddie Money. We were out there, Benny Mardones. We met some great people, the Goo Goo Dolls, all those guys as they were coming along. We were able to meet with those guys and play shows with them, and it was the best time. It really was.
It really was, mate. Yeah, I remember it well. I mean, Man of War. I remember when they signed their contracts in blood and everything. Can you just imagine that today?
Well, the drummer in Man of War. I got the drummer. He was playing with us, Scott Columbus. He was drumming with Held Hostage, and I heard Man of War was looking for a drummer, and I went over and gave Joey and Ross Scott's number, and the guys in the band didn't know that. Scott didn't even know that. And then when they found out, the guys in the band were pissed off. Why did you give off that drummer? I said, he was ready for that. We're just playing around having fun. Scott was the one guy in the band that I felt was going to make it, and he did. He did stuff that you can't worry about yourselves. That's what I said. Our time will come. Right now, it's his time.
Yeah. So you never fancied donning the loincloths yourself, then?
What's that?
You never fancied donning the loincloths yourself, then?
Oh yeah, I have fun.
All right.
But I don't wear that. No. I did do the leather pants and the spandex back in the 80s, but now I'm just, more black jeans and up on stage rocking, Yeah,
man. Absolutely. All right. So I've got 5 questions now for you, either or either. So the first one, festival or small intimate gig?
Oh, festivals are fun. Festivals are fun.
Okay. Beer or pizza?
Ooh, I'd have to say beer.
Yeah. Vinyl or digital?
Vinyl. I'm a vinyl guy. I love vinyl. In fact, the Great American Rock's coming out in vinyl in about 6 months.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yes.
Excellent, man. That'd be good because I love vinyl too. I'm really getting back into it. Saint or sinner?
A little of both. Depends on who I'm with. No.
Yeah. Okay. Who would you rather be stuck in a lift with, Joe Biden or Kermit the Frog?
Kermit. Kermit the Frog.
All right. Another one. Can you tell me what's been the most outrageous thing you've ever done in the name of metal, or do you have to swear the fifth?
Oh gosh, I tell this story a lot. I mean, we got booked in a country western bar, and we were a metal band coming in there in leather, and they wouldn't move the pool table for us. And so the guy says, "What are we gonna do?" And I went to the owner, and the owner says, "We'll pay you." I said, "We're gonna get paid, right?" Sure. We knew they were gonna hate our music.
Yeah.
So I looked around and I got the drunkest guy in the bar. It was his birthday. And we got him on stage. We did 2 chords, C and G, like country western, and had him just stand up there and scream like an idiot. And the crowd was loving him. We're screaming. His name was Peanut. And we're all going, yeah, Peanut, Peanut. By the end of the night, they were Judas Priest. They were Iron Maiden. They were just jamming to us. They helped us load our gear. They loved us. And that was pretty crazy because I thought they were going to trash our equipment. It could have went the other way because they weren't going to move the pool table for us to play. I said, we got problems here. But, yeah, so that's probably the craziest thing I did was bring that guy on stage.
Cool. Well, like I say, good luck with your the thing with Ripper Owens. It sounds amazing. Hopefully, you will do a live stream. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Yes, guys. Check out Held Hostage, and if you guys are able to help these kids, help them. The Kentucky show is a big show. We're going out there. We're going to raise money for them kids. We're going to have a great time. And if anybody can donate, thank you guys. But if you can't, just check out Held Hostage. That's all.
Comes the light. Hidden figures go unseen. Time passes. is all for me and not for you. When you finally understand, all along it was the plan. From the silence you will hear. Listen with your eyes and you will see. The world is full of things that you must try. When you do, you finally make the grade. Rise above, stand strong. I know what is right from wrong. Rise above, stand proud. Let your feelings out and be loud. You will try to see and I'll come to do. This is all for me and not for you. When you finally understand, all along it was the plan. Words can have double meanings. When you finally speak the truth, deep inside can be trouble. You must choose to live.